And we're about to get the second half underway here. Some quick look at some halftime stats that interest you, John. Talk about the steals, turnovers. Steals, 14 steals for Oklahoma City, just 3 for the Lions. Turnovers, 15 for the Lions, 5 turnovers for the Oklahoma City. And you mentioned these are probably mostly unforced turnovers.
Well, a lot of those, especially in the first quarter, I believe I counted 6 unforced turnovers that the Lady Lions made. And that's just due to bad passing or, not executing just the fundamentals of the game.
Back underway here in quarter number 3. Wallen's going to get guarded by McAfee. McAfee, a quick whistle. Be her second foul. So what kind of strategic adjustments do you think Coach Phillips will be making after watching this packed-in defense from the Stars in the first half?
Well, I don't know that she's going to make a whole lot of adjustments because here where the errors were in execution. Bad passes like we just talked about, and then converting the easy buckets. A lot of missed layups, and you just can't have that against a really good team like the Stars. And they've been fortunate to this point to be able to have missed as many as they have and come back with only a 1-point deficit.
Lady Lions 3 of 4 from beyond the arc. Stars 2 of 7 for 28%. Wallen no good there. Rebound Diggles. Free throws, not a free throw missed. 4 for 4 for the Lions. 2 out of 2 for the Stars. Stars shooting 11 of 33 from the field for a pretty simple percentage, 33%. And that's the second time we've seen Ward hit that little mid-range jumper from the free throw line. And that has given the Lions the lead again, back up 27-26. Meanwhile, Lions shot 43%, John, on 9 of 21. So really the volume of shots favors the Stars. They had 12 more shots than the Lions did in the first half.
Well, and I think that's we saw that early on in the first quarter, really trying to get their legs underneath them and get a feel for the game. And that's tough when you go on the road. That's what makes it really hard going on the road, playing in another opponent's gym. You have to reestablish how you're going to play on the court after riding in a bus or a plane or whatever it is for a long period of time.
Nelson Fry with the big 3 there a moment ago. She's got 9 now. Sophomore guard from Mustang, Oklahoma, has given her Stars a 2-point lead again. She's got 9 points on the game. She had 3 at halftime. Here come the Lady Lions. It's Hill. She's been quiet again. The second game in a row where the Stars have shut her down. We've not seen Hill take that fearless drive into the paint very much tonight, John.
Yeah, well, it's a lot harder to do against the zone because they're really packing it in and creating a wall, so it's not like she can just get through like she's used to in a man-to-man coverage.
Flat shot there by Kruschke. Lions down 2. Kroc getting into Diggles. She's double teamed on that zone. Not a whole lot of effort there by Diggles to get the ball back. And here comes some bodies flying and no whistles blown. Ward gets it up inside to Diggles and overthrew her.
Not sure where they would have blown a whistle. You can't foul your own teammate. So
I just saw bodies flying. It looked like it was collisions, but I guess it was mostly 2 white-shirted players hitting each other and flailing to the ground. Stars will set back up shop here. 6:45 left in third quarter. Cheney into Kruschke. Talk about some other sports going on here. Baseball teams in action after beginning the season at 5-1, which is outstanding. Splitting a doubleheader with Central Christian College. well, I can never remember the baseball team beginning of season 5-1. They're in action again right now, and soon we should have an update for you on how they're doing here at Lions Field. But how about the 5-1 start by the baseball team?
It's fantastic. Probably best start in history. And Coach Blackman has really got these guys tuned up. He's been working on recruiting his players for the last couple years, and I think he's finally getting to a place where he's comfortable with the players he has and how he can coach them, and it's showing up in the wins column right now.
They've been stuck at 29-27 for a while. Kroc looking to change that. Floater. Offensive rebound off the rim, no good. Who wants it? Here come the Stars. Fry over to Cheney. Lions will stay. Wow. Well, they gave up that one to stay in that nice one-on man-to-man defense, but that time it's going to be Haig converting. She's got 4. The lead is 4. The Iowa Western transfer, the player that you really noted, you think she's having a really good game, and she shows her medal right there. And there's a steal by Wallen, a telepath pass. Wallen misses the easy layup, but pads her stats, gets an offensive rebound, puts it in, and Hill slow to get up. And a timeout on the floor, 33-27, OCU stretching that lead out, their largest of the game.
Well, what you see the Stars doing so well is picking the right moments to play aggressive defense. And I think being coached by a veteran like Coach Bo is what helps there. They pick the spots. You as a tennis player, you know, you probably understand that concept. We always want to think, well, we want to give 120%, 120% of the time. You know, it's always achievable. But when you only have 2 players on the bench to go to, and you've got to make sure you don't get in foul trouble, especially with your best players, you got to teach them when to seize the moment and when that is. And we see Wallen and Haig really making good decisions with their gambles. And that was a great decision by Wallen to go over the top, because she didn't really have a whole lot of other option. She throws the ball back up towards half court. Well, a good veteran player knows, well, that's a good risk for me. I can get back. She's far enough back. I can go ahead and get back if I miss it.
It's going to be short. Well, to their credit, they've only been whistled for 5 fouls in nearly 2.5 quarters of play. That's tremendous defensive discipline by the Lady Stars.
Very characteristic of a very safe 2-3 type zone, especially against a team like the Lady Lions, who are not going to dominate down in the paint. You're just not going to see a lot of down low fouls.
And the friendly roll extends the lead to 8. 35-27. Now
Wallen,
here's another turnover.
Everywhere.
Gets it on up ahead to Cheney.
Really bad pass.
Give it right back to the home team. Yaya Anabulele over to Becker. She can hit the 3. Diggles. Cross pass over to Becker. There's a good look. That's got to fall. Those have got to fall. They fell in the first quarter. Here's an offensive putback. No good, no whistle. Third time is a charm, though, for Diggles.
It's a great play by Diggles to stay patient right there and not get antsy. And she got the ball, seized it, made the easy shot.
Mark that moment right there, folks, with about 3:35 left in the game. And here's a steal by Kroc. Oh, a tough pass, and she gets the friendly roll. Becker, the pass was behind her. She collected and went up with just enough English. Here it is. The Kroc had her. Tough pass, able to scoop it up on the run, and Becker's going to the line. I was going to say, mark that moment. It was an 8-point lead when that third attempt went in, and then a quick turnaround, another bucket, a chance now to cut the lead to 3, and unable to do it. But I tell you what, though, that is a key moment in the game. 4 quick points by the Lions. 35-31. Down by 8 just a moment ago. Just hanging around, looking for perhaps a wear down factor. You know, I will say this, they're disciplined with no fouls, but if you're playing that many minutes on the road, at what point, John, do you just get tired? I mean, at what point does the body just wear down with only 2 subs on the bench?
Well, that usually shows up in this game somewhere in the fourth quarter, or 5 minutes left in the game is the magic number.
And there come the Lions again. They've cut the lead to 2. Excuse me, go ahead.
And kind of wondering why we don't see a timeout here by the Stars, just to calm down the run. And they're doing a great job on the board, creating second chance shots, third chance shots. Some of that's not going in, so you've got to be aware that, well, that's not characteristic of your team. They're probably tired. Let's give them a blow down here going into the home stretch, and then cut the momentum off as well.
Johnson converts. Ward, cross pass over. Page not there.
Page a little too concerned about trying to create the contact to get the foul instead of just fundamentally going up and getting the easy 2. And one thing that I've noticed in this generation of basketball is that they're much more aware of trying to create for the extra points instead of the fundamental way of just scoring.
Oh, look at that shot by Becker. The right-handed hook floater, we'll call it. She's cut the lead to 2. She's got 5. Becker off the bench. A nice lift for Coach Phillips.
Huge lift.
Now look at that intensity to her face on defense. Shadowing every move from Cheney. Keep an eye on Becker. Enabalele with the steal inside.
Diggles with the block.
Enabalele picked it up. Now Lions a chance to tie this game, perhaps take the lead on a 3. Ward in trouble. Pops back over to Enabalele downtown. Loose ball. Ward and Johnson in a battle. Was off the Lady Lions. Under a minute remaining in the third quarter. Lions looking for statement win of the season. Trying to knock off the 10-1 Stars. That's a good look right there. That's going to be there all day long. Catherine Kruschke's not going to miss those.
She's already proven that she's got a good 15-foot jumper, and you can't leave her open. That was just a huge mistake defensively by the Lady Lions.
Ward, boy, that's a tight pass. He gets it inside to Page, though, and that clamp down defense in the zone and a whistle underneath. Those are really tough, dangerous passes when you're basically double teamed. By the time the ball arrived in Page's hand, the double team is there.
Yeah, and I thought the Stars did a good job creating that defensive wall. Not sure I saw where the real contact was, and that looked like 2 Lady Lions fighting for the ball between themselves. Let's look at it again here. Well, yeah, that was Kruschke and Page. Yep, and they were both going for the ball. Just an unfortunate call for Kruschke.
They're first.
Lions not converting well down the stretch here on the free throw line. It's going to be huge that they make these free throws.
And that is the end of your third quarter here at the Schaefer Center. Stars up by 3. It's going to come down to the wire, folks. Don't go anywhere. Grab you some potato chips and some pop and settle in here on the SAGU Sports Network on your internet. And be ready for a furious fourth quarter finish.
And we're going to let you meet your Lady Lions
Do it.
At this point.
Take a look at this.
Zoe Brown, Whitehall High School, Pine Bluff, Arkansas, freshman guard.
Ebony Colbert, DeSoto High School, DeSoto, Texas, sophomore guard. Dottie Diggles, DeSoto High School, DeSoto, Texas, sophomore forward.
Yaya Nabulule, Dunbar High School, Fort Worth, Texas, junior guard.
Caitlin Gibson, Mahia High School, Mahia, Texas, freshman guard.
Andrea Morales, Skyview High School, Billings, Montana, freshman guard.
Peyton Stevens, Keene High School, Keene, Texas, freshman guard.
Megan Becker, Mullen High School, Denver, Colorado, senior guard.
Taylor Hill, Waxahachie High School, Waxahachie, Texas, senior guard.
Bethany Crock, Cornerstone, San Antonio, senior guard.
Alexis McAfee, DeSoto High School, DeSoto, Texas, junior guard.
Lakin Ward, Warnerview High School, Cleveland, Arkansas, junior forward.
And that is your Lions team, the lineup. Spend some time in our SAGU Sports Network studio. We appreciate all the players coming out to do that for us. It's nice to see you, hear their voices. Chance up close to see these players in action. Bethany Crock's got some muscle.
Yes, she does. She's what we call a gym rat.
She fires up a 3. Ron Q misses, gets her own offensive rebound, but then trying to get the ball to Becker. It's picked off by Kruschke.
Bethany
nice
Crock.
Crock chases it down.
Getting down low and forcing the turnover.
Again, the Lions just lost by 3 in their last game against these Stars on January 16th. Looking for a bit of revenge. Looking for win number 1. They've lost 5 straight to the Stars. And again, that loss was 57-54 loss at the Abe Lemons Arena there in Oklahoma City on January 16th.
Now, OCU realizing we got to play some situational basketball.
Okay, walk us through this. What are you seeing here?
And so they're going to milk the clock as much as they can.
Okay.
And then probably settle for some kind of longer range shot. You would hopefully would like to get a little better look at that, but one of the strategies there was just take time off the clock. Let's get out of here with a win.
Anabalele.
Oh my.
But brick. Brick. Crock.
Look at Crock. Just fire starter,
love
man.
that scrappiness from the senior from San Antonio.
Reminds me of Caleb Gentry. Oh my.
Page, got to get that one to fall. Are they going to count it?
Yes,
Are they going to count it?
They should.
She's going to go to the line.
Waiting for the signal. There's no, she couldn't be shooting if they didn't count it. So yeah. It wasn't on the ground.
A chance to tie things up with just over 8 minutes left. Looking for point number 6 from Charity Page. She really flat-armed that one. Not a good shot from Page, the junior from Nacogdoches, Texas. Inside to Haig. Back out again, Johnson. Fry, now Kruschke. Working on Anabalele, gets free past one defender. Fouled by the help defense. It's going to send Kruschke to the line. That's that senior leadership just taking over, John, in the fourth quarter.
Yep, that's right. And really like what we're seeing from Kruschke is that she knows, get me the ball and I'll create something. I'll make something happen. And I love to see players that are confident in what they can do. And she's going in hard to try to execute. And she does well, draws the foul. She's just got to hit these. She only hit 1 of 2 there. So that's always going to make your coach pull his hair out. His or her, in this case, his.
I don't think he has. He's got a little hair to pull out, not much.
And it's probably due to a lot of missed free throws.
Croc converts. We're tied at 40. Don't go anywhere, folks. 40 apiece with 7:25 left in your ball game. Here at the Schaefer Center, game 1 of 2. Downtown attempt is good. Nothing but the bottom of the net. Janae Haig buries it.
I don't think that was Haig. I think that was Fry.
Croc now in the corner. She'll fire up a 3 ball. That looked good coming off. Offensive glass. Ward, no whistle. Keeps it alive. Becker spins, turns, and she'll go to the line.
Yeah, gets an elbow to the face. It was a good move. Good spin, reverse move there by Becker right here.
And that was going to be, I think it's Leah Cheney with a little elbow in the chin.
Yeah, and actually Becker spun into it and created the contact.
It's her 3rd.
So Cheney might have had a little bit of an argument there in that, hey, I didn't foul her. I'm vertical here. What am I supposed to do?
It's something you're well known for doing in the intramural league. You love to create that contact and then look at the rest for the whistle. So this is very common for you to see, I'm sure.
Yeah,
it's in your game.
It's a veteran move. It's definitely something that you know that the refs will and probably should call. I mean, if someone's hanging on you, that's different.
That time it's Becker hanging on Cheney. So they pretty much exchange fouls. It's going to send Cheney to the line. Just the 2nd foul. Remember, in quarters, it's 5 fouls to get to the line, but because it's a shooting foul, it's the 2nd foul. They'll put Cheney in the line, but after 5 fouls, will be in the bonus as opposed to typically 7 when we played halves in women's college basketball.
Oh, that's killing Coach Bo over
wow.
there. You got to know he is just going to tell his ladies, you're making this much harder than it needs to be.
Inabulele looking for Page, not there. Croc now over to Becker.
I love the patience.
8 on the shot clock. Inabulele, that looked good coming off as she gives a 3 sign to the crowd. Coming back down the court, and the Lions have retaken the lead, folks. 45-43 with 5:55 remaining in your ball game. Will the Stars' veteran pedigree take over, or will the Lions scrap and claw their way to a home victory in what would be the win of the season here at the Schaefer? And look at Croc again. She's everywhere. As you see the crowd, the men's team on their feet, cheering the Lady Lions on.
That's a lot of fun. A lot of fun to see these teams support each other, knowing that this is a huge game. What an impact game this would be if the Lady Lions could walk away with a win. Puts them in a good position for the tournament and keeps NAIA national bids really alive.
They've out-rebounded the Stars to this point, 38-28. That's been a key factor in this ball game so far today. Turnovers starting to even out, but still in favor of the Stars. They just committed 14. The Lions have 21 turnovers. That could be a factor here in the 4th quarter. Who can minimize the mistakes, because every possession really matters a lot in a game this tight. And it was tipped off the hand of Allison Fry. What an outstanding defensive play right at the baseline.
Yeah, fantastic.
Hill still on the bench. It's Inabulele getting critical minutes here in crunch time. And the Lions turn it right back over. Their 22nd turnover of the game. Oklahoma City leads in blocks, by the way, 8-1. A lot of those probably in the hands of Wallen. And Kroc's going to get whistled for the reach inside, as it was Kruschke turning and spinning right into Kroc. Kroc doesn't like the call.
Well, what Coach Phillips has got to tell her ladies here is that they cannot risk down low. When you're down on the block like that and you're big, especially a key player, that she's established herself as a key player to the refs, to the game, that they can't just be reaching in and getting horizontal on that. They have to play good fundamental vertical and space basketball.
Both free throws missed by Kruschke. And the Lions now nursing a 2-point lead against the two-time defending NAIA national champions here at home. Tough shot, and she gets it to fall. The basket of the game for Miss Charity Ward. She's got 7. Charity Page, she's got 7. Thank you, Mr. Cookman. I knew it was Charity Page. She's got 7, and the lead is 4.
They're going to Fry.
Out of bounds, back to the Lions. Now, you mentioned a few moments ago the Stars milking the clock. Is it too early, knock on wood, for the Lions to start kind of sort of milking this clock?
Absolutely. You want to take as much time off of this clock as possible. Anytime you have a lead, you want to protect that lead and get
unless my! Oh my! Charity Page just laps her way to the line. A prayer that goes up, the whistle, the hoop, and the harm, and Page has given the Lions a 6-point lead. Here it is again. She literally lost control of the ball. That's not even a shot. That is just a flail that fell in, Mr. Cookman.
That was amazing. I don't know how.
And the free throw rolls in.
The
2 horrible shots.
Inertia of the ball going up like that was pretty incredible.
The lead is 7, 50-43. The Stars looking for answers. It's Johnson now inside to Kruschke. 3 ball from Wallen. No good, and Ward smartly lets that ball just drift out of bounds. How about the play from Page? 10 points.
I'm not sure why we're not seeing more timeouts taken by
oh, get in there! This time it's Diggles, and now the Lions, though, continuing to attack the inside paint. Not what we think we'd see at this point in the game.
Well, if you got someone open, you got to throw it to them and let them try to work. So it's a good strategy. You know, you got these guys on the ropes. They're not very deep on the bench. And like I say, I'm surprised that we haven't seen more timeouts taken. They have the Stars have 5 timeouts.
Second free throw's good.
And you're shorthanded. You got to give these ladies a break. You got to give them a little bit of a rest. Talk to them. Let them know what the scenario is.
And a whistle going to be against Page. That's going to be her 4th foul. That's going to send the Stars back to the line, a chance to cut into this 9-point lead.
And it's a 1-and-1 situation.
Wallen's on the bench now. Not sure why Wallen is not in a flat shot. No good by Kruschke. I'm not sure, was that a foul against Page?
That's a lot of initiated contact. I think that's the respect from the referees. They give good players. So she made her move, created the contact, and you're going to get that call a lot.
Missed free throw again. I think that's 4 misses in a row by the Stars. They began the game with, I think, the first 3 of 3, and now they are 3 of 8 from the charity stripe, Mr. Cookman.
Stars are going to have to find a way to get the ball in the hoop. And they're missing a lot of shots, not only from the free throw line, but the easy in the paint shots.
And the crowd is coming to life, shutting defense. Haig
really being clutch, miss clutch here.
Money.
And they need something like that. They need a fire starter. Maybe she's going to be the one to do it.
Haig's got 7. The lead is 8. The lead is 6. Check that. The lead is 6 with 2:38 left in your ball game.
Now you're in a 1-on-1 situation, and still no timeout from the Stars yet. Not sure what they're waiting on. You got 5 timeouts, man. You got a short staff. You got to just to help them. You got to use them.
Free throw comparison is very unstar characteristic. 38%, 73, and going up as Ward hit the first of 2 for the Lions. Second one is good. The lead is back to 8 with 2:38 left in the 4th quarter. The only loss the Stars had so far in this Sooner was to, I believe it was to WVU. Lions looking to get their first win ever against this powerhouse team from north of the Red River. We're going to see Johnson go to the line now. Johnson's free throw is rattling in and out. This is a factor now. You've got to piece this into the puzzle here of the missed free throws really has cost the Stars a chance to maintain their lead.
They've had every opportunity to keep themselves in this game.
Wayland Baptist sits atop the Sooner at 11-1. They won earlier today, John, beating John Brown 79-67. So they'll maintain the lead in the Sooner. Oklahoma City with a loss here will drop to 10-2 into second place, out of a first place tie with the Pioneers, or I should say the Flying Queens. Don't look now, but Lady Lions with a win here would improve to 7-5 and be for the moment alone in third place.
Yep, and three games back from OCU, and that's a good position to be in, knowing that you just beat one of the top teams in the conference. You're only 3 games back. You take the attitude, got to win out. We win out. We put ourselves in a really good position for good seeding in the conference tournament, but not only that, more importantly, maybe some national recognition and the ability to make the NAIA national tournament, which would be a huge deal for Coach Phillips in her first year.
Her first year. The other team at 6-5 is the other Southwestern Christian. They are playing Texas Wesleyan at TWU, so that will likely be a loss for Texas Wesleyan, which would probably keep Southwestern Christian at pace with the Lions. So both will probably improve to 7-5 and then be tied for third in the Sooner behind the Stars.
Yeah, but compare the victory. The victory today would, in comparison, would be
much huger.
Much huger.
Not even close. I mean, Texas Wesleyan is 3-8 versus 10-1. Absolutely correct. Oh, Becker.
Looked like a little awkward.
Inabulele now. They're going to milk some clock for sure.
We haven't seen Taylor Hill in a while. And very interesting that the Lady Lions have been able to put on a run here without Taylor Hill.
Oh, and Ward gets the bounce. She's got 13 to lead all scorers, and the lead is 9. And the Stars have got their hands full, folks, here at the Schaefer tonight. They need answers now. Will it be Wallen from 3? No good. Offensive rebound, put back and in by Kruschke, and finally a timeout called by Coach Bo Overton.
Well, you got to have them. You got to have them right now. Now you have to have everything go your way. You got to be, your execution has to be spot on, exact. And we know that the history of Coach Bo, he can draw it up and give them a good game plan to get this back and a chance to at least tie or get them back in the game to make it exciting. But they have to execute. So we'll see. We'll see how it comes out here.
7-point lead with 1:30 left. 1:29 to be exact. Lions with the ball. Here comes the full court press by the Stars. First time we've, and Kroc went into a wall. I think that was gonna be Kruschke. It's gonna send Kroc to the line. The first time we've seen a true full court press, really since not since the game began. And now the Lions looking to add via the free throw line to their 7, now make it 8-point lead.
Let me tell you something, that's what a great sign. Your Coach Phillips, you're just loving hitting the free throws in the stretch, clutch.
At a clip of 82% now, 13 of 16 from the line, and that is a storyline developing here. The Stars unable to be consistent at the line, and the Lions taking advantage of every free throw they've had. Downtown 3 from Kruschke, off the rim, no good. Page clears, pivots out of pressure, over to Becker, and it's gonna be Kruschke with the foul. That's her 4th. Becker to the line, the chance to add to this 9-point lead, and it is looking more and more like the Lions are gonna get win number 1 against the Stars in what I think is probably the signature win of the entire season.
Oh, absolutely. To be able to walk away beating the number 1 team in the conference. Are you kidding me?
The 2-time defending national champions.
Yep.
First place in the conference. And what a job by Coach Tiffany Phillips, utilizing her bench. The play from Ward, the play from Page. Now, granted, Hill has struggled, but she's a great player. She'll be back. But how about crediting Phillips for realizing that not all your players have great days at the same time. And so, you know what's okay, Hill, take a seat. We got your back today. And that's what's happened.
That's right. And it looks like we got word in that Taylor's tweaked her ankle. Even though she could probably walk on it, she's just not 100%. So it's a good decision by Coach Phillips to be able to rely on the rest of her team.
Kroc goes to the line with 46.3 left. The Lions up 11. And I'm going to tell you something, folks. This score, it's going to probably end up being around a 10-point, perhaps 8-point win by the time it's said and done. Just the score itself is going to get the attention of every other team when this ripples down and folks across the Sooners see this score. The respect level is going to go shooting straight up for these Lions across the Sooner.
Oh, yeah, and you're talking about national recognition. So there's a good chance that the Lady Lions could earn that respect they need to get noticed down here in the stretch run towards the tournament time so that they could get an NAIA national bid.
And that tournament is held in Jackson, Tennessee,
That's
correct?
Right. Yep. And Coach Phillips has got to be just tickled to death that she can put her go-to player on the bench and still be able to come out and be up 11 points on one of the top teams in the nation. Are you kidding me?
It's just the team steps up. This is a team that is deep, that they care for each other, they love each other. When one man's down, they just, to use your favorite head coach, Bill Belichick's phrase, next man up.
That's right.
And that's what's happened today. It's been the bench, it's been the starters. Hill has missed, but I tell you what, the score has not been missed. It's going to be a win by the Lions as they're now running out the clock. A prayer from the Stars, and that one goes in. So a timeout called by Overton. Cheney with the bucket has cut the lead to 8, but there's only 38.5 seconds left. You need a lot of crazy things to happen here for us to lose this game.
You need a Dean Smith type moment.
You need a Reggie Miller type 8 points in 8 seconds kind of moment.
Yeah. Can it be done? Absolutely.
Well, it can.
But is it likely? Not really, because they haven't shown any momentum towards creating the things that they need to do to get those things done. They just haven't shown that they're going to do them today. So you stay aggressive, put the heat on them, push the ball up as hard as you can if you're the Lady Lions, and
plus you're shooting 81% from the free throw line. So, and there's going to be a whistle. It's going to send Becker, and that's going to foul out Kruschke. So she's gone. She'll finish with 9 points in the ball game. They're going to have to check back in. Probably going to be Allison Fry. Yes, it'll be Fry. She'll check back in, but a good job by Kruschke overall.
And it's probably got to be the substitution that you have right now anyway, because Fry is going to be one of the 2 or 3 players that can bring you back in this situation. So they've got to look first to the 3, and then if there's a miss, hope you get a rebound.
Fry is 3 of 9 from beyond the arc today. All 9 of her points have come from beyond the 3-point line, so she really is the best threat. 1 of 2 from Leah Cheney. She just had that one we saw. 1 of 1 for Janae Haig. 1 of 2 for Catherine Kruschke, who's just fouled out. So your only other players who have attempted threes is Whalen. She's attempted 5 threes, missed all 5 threes.
I think Haig's 2 for 2. Haig is. And she can definitely shoot the long-range ball, or maybe 2 for 3. I know she hit 1 in the first half and 1 in the second half for sure. So she's a good option as well. Definitely first look is going to be
Fry. It's got to be Fry.
Allison Fry. So they got to set that up for her. Looks like he's drawing up the old picket fence.
Well, if there's any coach in the Sooner who could pull one out, it would be Coach Overton. He's seen many games come down to the wire like this. Does he have enough magic to erase an 11-point deficit in 36.5 seconds? We'll find out in a moment. I think the Lions, if they just play smart, knock a few more free throws down, that should seal it.
Well as the Lions are shooting free throws, that hill is going to be very tough to climb. No matter how many threes you hit, the mathematics on it, based on.
Looks like we have a second. I have a second timeout called. Phillips wants to go ahead and add a timeout on top of the one that was already called.
No, that timeout was actually taken by the Stars. The refs are.
Are they correcting who is assigned the timeout? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that was the second timeout.
Very
actually.
Good. Okay, so reset, folks. 36.5 left.
No timeouts.
OCU inbounds right in front of their own bench. They need a bucket, and a bucket quick. And that is a travel and just a mental error by Janae Haig, the junior. I think she just realized I'm too open, or something happened there. The defense wasn't there like she thought it was going to be, and she traveled. She just walked with the ball. And now on up ahead to Becker, who lays it up and in with the signature layup, and that's going to seal it, folks. 65-52, largest lead of the game for SAGU, and then off Wallen's foot, and just like that, 2 quick turnovers have pretty much sealed it for the Stars. They're going to drop to 10-2 in conference. The Lions will improve to 7-5. Shot clock is off, and how about the standing ovation for your SAGU Lady Lions as they knock off the 2-time defending champion, the Stars. Your final score, 65-52. Lions win it.
Well, that was a fantastic game executed by the Lady Lions. They came in and did exactly what they needed to do, and stayed true to their game plan. Looked like their game plan didn't change. They attacked down low, even though that they were smaller. And I think Coach Phillips felt like they could get to the line a lot by doing that. And I believe they did. When we look at the stats, you'll probably see above average amount of free throws attempted.
Here's your updated to the second standings, brought to you by our SAGU Sports Network graphics team. There it is, folks, 7-5, sitting atop in third for now. John Brown at 6-5. Southwestern Christian at 6-5. And wow, how about the job by Coach Tiffany Phillips?
Well, things are coming together for her and the Lady Lions. The chemistry looks really good. If you see this game, a lot of on-court chemistry.
And there's the hugs from the fans for Coach Phillips, who's turned this program around, and now the crowd beginning to file in even more as the men are about to take the court in game 2 of our doubleheader here. Let's go down courtside and check in with Adam Ferguson, who's standing by with Megan Becker.
Thanks, Rob. I'm here with senior Megan Becker. Now, Megan, a huge win against Oklahoma City. Coach Phillips said in the beginning that you wanted to prove that you were the third team in the conference, being able to fight with the top dogs. You did that today. How's it feel?
It feels great. You know, Coach really pushed us that we had to stick to what she told us to do for defense. And we knew that they had shooters. And at the beginning, we knew that they were missing 2 of their best players. And we just had to go out and prove to them that our defense was still ranked in the conference. And so our defense really helped. And I think everybody contributed today. So.
Another senior leader, Taylor Harrell, goes down with an apparent ankle injury. You come in and fill the spot nicely, 15 points, leading the team along the way, hitting a bunch of free throws at the end, which were huge to seal the victory. How does it feel to be able to come off the bench and start your team's run like that at the end of the game?
It felt great. I knew that this season I haven't been playing as well as I wanted to. And against a team like this, you have to come out and prove that you can beat a team that's second in our conference. And I feel like, you know, when you have such a big player that goes down, somebody else has to step up. And it was really just my time to step up as a leader and as a senior, and I knew I had to lead my team. So.
Well, we enjoyed watching it. Good game, Megan. Back to you, Rob.
Thanks.
Let's take a look at Megan's line, John. I think you'll be really impressed. 4 of 6 overall from the field, 1 of 2 from beyond the arc, 6 of 7 from the line, a rebound, 3 assists, 1 of 4 players leading the way with 3 assists each. That would also be Kroc, Ward, and McAfee all had 3 assists. Talk about that in just a second. And leading the way, like we said, 15 points. She was a spark plug, a huge reason why the Lions won today.
Absolutely, you get that kind of production off the bench. There's nothing like that. And when you can expect a bench player to step up and fill the shoes, then things are going to go right for you.
What does that do? Because you played professionally, and of course in college. What does that do? Walk us through the psyche of the team when what we just saw happens, not the win, but Becker specifically, really basically filling in for Hill and pretty much filling up the same numbers that Hill would have had with Hill on the bench. What does that do in the locker room, like right now and tomorrow morning for practice? And walk us through the lift this is going to give this team.
Well, I think ultimately what happens is the psychology of it is confidence. It's about the chemistry, and it feels like things are going your way. Everyone is now clicking as one unit, and it doesn't matter if you start or come off the bench.
Right.
Your contributors are going to contribute, and that's what we need. And this game is something that Becker needed to get out of her system per se, and because every one of those girls on that team know that she's a special player and she can do it. And she mentioned in that conversation with Adam that she just hadn't been playing as good as she knows she could or wanted to. But this is the type of performance that I think every one of those ladies know that Megan Becker can give night in and night out. And when you start getting all those pistons clicking and really rotating exactly like that, now your engine is strong.
See something special brewing here. This is a special team, and now firmly entrenched in third place, at least for the time being. We'll see how far they can take this run as a statement win. They have served notice to the Sooner. The Lions are on the prowl here as we've entered the second half of play in probably the toughest conference in the nation. Some final stats for you. Rebounding the Stars, 44-31. Assist, 15-9 in favor of the Lions. Now, for the Stars, 21 steals to 15 for the Lions. They did a good job defensively. Scoring leaders, Kruschke had 12. Haig rebounding with 8. Kruschke, the assist leader, with 4. For the Lions, of course, Beck with 15. Page led the way with 12 rebounds. And Kroc, with 3 others, had 3 assists. So we'll take a quick break here. Back with game 2 coming up. I see the men warming up for what's going to be a barn burner as the Stars take on the Lions. Stay with us. More coming up right here on the SAGU Sports Network.
Yeah.